I apologize for a second video. The first video froze, so we're going to start off where we stopped before. We have a zero slope right here. So what I want you to do is I want you to flip the page, and I want you to try counting these slopes. Remember, pick a point. Can you go up, down? Can you go left, right? And then I want you to come down here and identify the slope. Is it positive, negative, zero, or undefined? At this time, please pause your video and complete this worksheet. Do not worry about the graphs at the bottom. We'll come back to that at a later date. Here are the answers to the previous page. Our slopes. Now remember, you can choose either point. So if you didn't choose this first point, either way, you're still going to go down to left 3, which will become a positive 2/3. Same thing with this negative 8/5. You can have 8/-5. It's the same slope. Same thing with our negative 1/5. You may also have 1/-5. This one I hope didn't throw you off, but the directions still apply. Can you go up or down at all? No. Can I go left or right? Yes, I can. I can't go any up or down, but I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, and 0/6 does give us a zero slope, or you can simply just look at it. Number 6 over here, we have negative 6/10. Please make sure that you plug this in your calculator to simplify. And just like on the front, we have a positive slope, it's going up. We have a zero slope, which is always across, and undefined, which is going up or down. If we go back to the packet, the next page, there are several problems, 1 through 8, of more counting slope. So I would like you to pause the video at this time. Please make sure that you're going up, down, left, or right, and that you are simplifying your slopes. Here is the answer key, so if you need to, please pause the video for you to check your answers. If you are someone who needs more practice with identifying types of slope, here is a paper for you that all you have to do is tell me if it's positive, negative, zero, or undefined. If you would like to pause the video, and if you need more practice, this is on you. This is not in your packet. You can simply just write the answers down, and I will display the answers in 1 second. Here are the answers. Positive, negative, zero, and our undefined, which is going up and down. The next part of this unit is how to find slope using 2 points. So what I'm going to do for you right now is I'm just going to give you an example. What you're going to be given is 2 points. So instead of having a graph, you're just going to be given the coordinates. And you're going to have to use a formula, which I'm going to give you, and you're going to have to plug them in. So the formula for slope, now slope is always represented by the letter M. So slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x, which is what we talked about on the first page because it was rise over run. It's the same thing here, the change in y over the change in x. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use these points to plug into here. The points have our x values, our y values, our x values, our y values. That's normal, that's standard. You should know that every coordinate, the first value is x, the second coordinate is y. What we need to do now is these little subscripts down here, 2's and 1's. What I always say is your first point, always make them both your 1's. 1's go with 1's, which makes these our 2's. All you're doing is labeling them so you don't get confused on what you're plugging in where. So when we have this formula, our y2 value that we just labeled is a 3. So we're going to come down here and plug in a 3 for our y2. Our operation in the middle is always a subtraction sign. Our y1 that we just labeled is a 2. Our x2 is a 4. Our minus always in between, and then our x1 in this case is a 0. All you're doing is plugging in the values. And then you're going to simplify the top first. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 0 is 4. We are left with 1/4, which is what we want, because this is going to be your slope of the line. So instead of counting this time, we're just plugging it into the formula. I want to do one more example with you. If you would like to write this down on the top of your packets on the next page, you are more than welcome to do so, or you can just pause the video. The next point I want to give you is 0, -1, and 1, 4. So we're going to do the same thing. These are our x values. These are our y values. Now I always say make the first ones our 1s, make the second ones our 2, and we're simply just going to plug the numbers in. So our y2 value is going to be 4. It's always going to be a minus in between. Our y1 value is a -1. Yes, I tell you all the time to not have a minus, but in this case we're plugging it into the problem, so when we solve this, this minus will go away. And then we're going to plug in our x2 minus our x1, which is 0. And please remember, you have to solve the top and then the bottom. You cannot plug this whole thing into your calculator. So 4 minus -1 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. And 5/1, because we always have to simplify slope, is 5. So our slope of this line is 5. So it's just a different way to find slope. So what I want you to do is there are 2 pages of this in our packet. There's 8 problems over here. You're going to use that same formula. I suggest you put it at the top of your paper. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And what you need to do first is go to each point, label them x, y, x, y, x1, y1, x2, y2, for every single one. Use the formula, find the slope in simplest form. These graphs are just extra in case you wanted to plot the points and count our up, down, lefts, and rights, but I do want you to practice using the formula. The graph is just to check yourself. If you flip to the back, there are also more problems on the back. I would like you to complete those as well. When you are finished with them, I am going to show you the answer key in a minute, so please pause the video so you have time to work on these. In class tomorrow, we are going to do more practice. I have a fun activity for you, so please make sure that you have practiced these problems. If you have any questions on anything from either video, please have them ready for me Tuesday morning in class. You are also feel free to message me on Schoology. Any questions I can help you with, that would be great. And at this time, I'm going to give you the answers to the first page. So please pause the video if you need to check your answers. And the last page, I do have some work for you. The last one I did not, but the very last one that you had to work on, there is some work with me plugging them in. Just please remember, you need to label each of these. So x1, y1, x2, y2, and use the formula just to plug them in. You guys have a great day, and remember, any questions, please let me know tomorrow.